Welcome to the Tech and Media Keynote. I want to first start off by saying thank you. Thank you for being our customers, thank you for being our partners, and thank you for being our collaborators. It's your success that drives us. And here we all are, sitting in this room, ready to see what the future holds. Our industries have been merging for years. We see it in the way that we watch content, the way that we interact with brands, and the innovation that is changing every single day. And what's at the center of the future? Well, it's data. Data is the new gold, driving growth and unlocking AI's full potential. Did you know that by the year 2025, we'll have created 463 zettabytes of data? Now, does anyone know what a zettabyte is? Because I had to go on Google and look what that is. It's 463 followed by 21 zeros. To put that in perspective, that's a value worth 229 billion. Now that's a lot of data, and it can be overwhelming to manage, especially when any given enterprise has over 1,000 applications and all of that data is completely siloed. And when your data is siloed, it's hard to really unlock AI's full potential. And that's why we're excited about Agentforce. You heard it at Mark's keynote. Agentforce is like having a 24/7 team doing everything from booking meetings to answering questions. Agentforce is always on, always working, so you don't have to. And with Agentforce, your teams are not only working faster, but they're working more efficiently. But to truly unlock AI's full potential, you need to have your systems to bring your tools and your data together. And that's what we've done with the Salesforce platform. The Salesforce platform, powered by Data Cloud, brings together your apps, AI tools, and data all in one seamless experience. And with our zero-copy network, integrating all of that data without having to move or copy it, we make it easy. You can bring in social media data or product data. We make it simple. And paired with Agentforce, we give you the ability to act on that data, giving you the automation that you need in order to scale your teams and drive future growth. Now, in today's keynote, you're going to hear from many leaders that are actually putting this into practice with their organizations. And it's my pleasure to bring up the CIO of Autodesk, Prakash Kota. Prakash, thank you so much for being such a great customer and joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, we just finished the 2024 Summer Olympics, but I hear Autodesk is pretty excited about the LA Games in 2028. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, thank you, Lenore. Indeed, Autodesk is the official design and make platform for LA 28 Olympics, Paralympic, and Team USA. So we are super excited about the vision that the team has, like in bringing LA 28 for not having a permanent venues, rather use existing and adapting infrastructure that already exists using Autodesk software. So Autodesk software will be used by designers, makers, builders, creators in the next 4 years to bring that to life. So we are super excited in leveraging our tools in a sustainable way, using our principles to bring LA 28 to life. So thank you. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I'll make sure to ask for my ticket in a few years here. All right, well, Autodesk has really focused and taken an approach on human-centered change with your service agents and pairing that with AI. Can you tell us more about what's been going on?
Yeah, no, I think Autodesk, first of all, leaned in leveraging AI, both for our customer experience as well as our employee experience. And where we leverage Salesforce is Salesforce Einstein for service. It's more for agent experience, improving our agent experience. One of the examples that I can give you is when agents go through calls or chats with customers, post those calls, they spend a lot of time, more than the time they spent with customer, in summarizing all of those things. And that's very important for us for knowledge base later on. And leveraging Einstein for service, now all of those summaries happen through AI capabilities, which almost, in some cases, saves up to 63% of the time that the agent spends, which is more engagement for agents because they're spending more time with customers, better experience for customers because they're resolving stuff much faster, and we're able to scale as a company to support more customers. So I think we are definitely leveraging, leaning in, and seeing some of the early wins from some of the capabilities that you guys are giving us.
Fantastic. Well, I know you just talked about the service agent experience, but you're also using data and AI to improve the overall customer experience. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, no, I think see data, specifically from Salesforce, we are leveraging Heroku, which is connecting between the clouds, and so that the customer experience can be seamless. And data is going to be center of everything. You just mentioned data is gold. So we need to make sure that we tap into that to seek the value. And some of the experience we are also leveraging is AI for Einstein bot, SMS bot that you guys launched is something we are leveraging. Previously, customers used to, it used to be a pull. When customer wants to review what is my status of a case, or I submitted, for me to submit, or for me to review the status. Today, customers from submission process to checking the status of the progress, to when there is any updates on the case, there is an SMS that they can subscribe to or opt in, that they can get a self-service kind of an update. So it's more like a push that we are trying to do. And that's a huge change than what we used to do before.
Amazing. Well, when we talk to a lot of CIOs, most are thinking about how do I streamline operations, focus on efficiency, and do tech optimization. How are you thinking about optimizing your technology while still staying agile and continuing to innovate?
Yeah, I think we're no different. We're scaling as a company, and the company is typically between 1 billion and 5 billion in revenue, only focus on speed. And to get to that speed, we end up creating tools or capabilities that sometimes may be silo in nature, but when you're going beyond 5 billion and getting to a 10 billion goal, you're talking about speed and scale. And that's where the overall app rationalization comes to mind. And we are going through that exercise now, and with a focus of how do we simplify our stack, how do we standardize, and how do we enable self-service. All of these three S's that we keep in mind for us to scale as a company. And so it's an exercise that we're going through, because we want to streamline, and if we want to leverage the data on top of it and to enable AI capabilities, all folks, whether it's employees or agents or whoever it is, have to be using the same tool sets and incorporating the same data or updating the same tool set. That's how we can actually get to what we want to do. So that rationalization exercise, we're no different. We are going through that right now, and we are looking forward actually to streamlining and simplifying our ecosystem.
Fantastic. Yes, every tech company right now. All right. Well, finally, what is the future vision for Autodesk?
I guess after yesterday's keynote, it's Agentforce. We're definitely going to explore.
It's a hard spot. We're competing with their keynote right now. Yeah.
So we're definitely going to lean in and explore Agentforce. Definitely seems promising in our experimental where we are headed. And we are also actually doing some POCs right now with Data Cloud. There's a lot of promises there on what we can tap into. And then the other big thing that we are focusing is omni-channel strategy. Irrespective of whether it's digital channels of how we interact with customers or voice channels, how do we make it seamless between these two modalities and give a better customer experience? I think across those three pillars, I think there's a lot of work to be done.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here, Prakash,
Thank you.
and being such a great customer.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to switch gears and talk about some of our new innovations and see a live demo. So it's my pleasure to welcome up Senior Product Marketing Manager, Natasha Janik.
Thanks, Lenore. So I'm sure all of you have seen a ton of innovation already at Dreamforce. But what does that mean for everyone sitting here? Agentforce brings humans and agents together with data, AI, and action. SDR agents can prospect on your behalf for those accounts that might not be ready to buy yet. This frees up your sellers to focus on the opportunities that will drive revenue today. And sales coaches give your sellers real-time feedback on their pitches. So it's great for onboarding new sellers, or for those of you who are selling into regulated industries and need sellers to adhere to a specific talk track. And finally, service agents make sure that no customer questions go unanswered. They leverage all of your unified data to ensure that they're delivering great service to your customers and freeing up your service reps to tackle more complex cases. Now, we're bringing a ton of innovation to Slack as well, including Agentforce, which helps to boost productivity through providing deal summaries, automated workflows, and more, so that your teams can focus on driving revenue instead of managing a bunch of apps. And with Salesforce channels, we can bring CRM data right into Slack, where important deal conversations are already happening. And finally, Salesforce forecasting is better than ever. New pipeline forecasting insights and workflows adhere to all of your business needs. And new consumption forecasting is a game changer for everyone in the room that is launching usage-based revenue models. This will bring in data from any source and roll it up into a real-time forecast. Now, be sure to look out for all of these features coming soon. But some of you may be thinking, what can I do with unlocked data and AI to drive revenue today? Well, we're going to see how Welo, a cybersecurity company, unlocks their data and gets it into the hands of their marketers, sellers, and service teams, and their agents to power productivity and revenue. And to help me with this demo, I'd like to welcome distinguished solution engineers, Eric Greenwald and Ed D'Angelo. All right, let's jump into the demo. So here, the head of marketing at Welo gets a bird's eye view of key business performance metrics. Now, marketers at Welo are not only responsible for acquisition, but also for adoption and retention. But previously, all of that adoption data was just sitting in a data warehouse, inaccessible to the teams who needed it. But now we've unlocked that data with Data Cloud. And unfortunately, we're seeing a dip in adoption. So let's tap our marketing teams to fix this. With Agentforce creating segments on our marketers' behalf for low-usage customers, rather than going through technical support and manual processes to get this done, Agentforce can actually do this with just a natural language prompt and just a few clicks. And here, our segment is ready to be activated. Many marketers at Welo have been challenged with delivering personalization at scale. But with product telemetry data at their fingertips, they can personalize every step of the customer journey based on the products and features that customers may or may not have adopted. And as customers interact with this campaign, we're capturing all of that data into their unified profile and making it available for other teams to use. Speaking of other teams, let's fast forward a little bit. Your sellers are tasked with managing a lot of leads and accounts, and it can be hard to prioritize which ones to focus on. In turn, almost 2/3 of tech sellers expect to miss their quota this year. But with unified data, sellers can see their accounts prioritized by engagement scores and propensity to buy, including things like product fit and intent. And here we see Verde at the top of the list. They were part of that marketing campaign we just set up. And the seller can actually take a look at the right decision makers to reach out to right in the prospecting center. But let's take a closer look at the account. Here, we see the full power of Data Cloud with product usage, marketing engagement, and calculated insights. But the seller wants a little more information before reaching out to the team at Verde. So they can actually prompt Agentforce for a usage summary on the account. And in addition to a usage summary, Agentforce can provide this seller with precise product recommendations and context that's important when they reach out to the customer. Now, many sellers spend a lot of time on manual tasks, like just pulling together account information to draft an email. So why don't we do it for them? Here, Agentforce drafts a personalized email for the team at Verde. The seller checks it out, looks good, and sends it off to the team. Now, because Agentforce was able to provide super precise product recommendations, this has greatly accelerated the deal cycle. And just a few days later, the seller receives the much anticipated notification that the contract has been signed. The seller can now update that opportunity to close one right in their flow of work in Slack. As Welo adopts these new features, as Verde adopts these new features, they hit a couple of roadblocks. But rather than have to wait to interact with their customer success team, they can tap Welo's service agent for some help. Now, Welo's service agent has access to their technical knowledge base and can answer this question pretty quickly. And AI agents can deflect up to 30% of your cases. But this customer has a few additional questions about their AI strategy, and it actually requires a service rep to take a look at their account and ensure that they're a good fit for a free trial. Now, this is where Agentforce for Service brings agents and humans together to deliver better customer service. So as we look at the service reps console, we see that entire interaction that the customer had with the service agent, as well as lots of context around their engagement with Welo thus far. Now, your service teams have to manage a lot of information about your products in order to serve your customers well. But we can surface automated intelligent service replies to help them answer those questions faster, resolve cases on first resolution, and ensure that your customers are getting consistent and accurate responses from your service teams. Now, with just a click, we can actually summarize the case on their behalf. And this frees up time for them to move on to new accounts. So this service agent just took a case and turned it into a revenue-generating opportunity by enrolling this customer in a free trial. So we've just seen how unlocked data and activating agents across your organization can increase product adoption with more personalized marketing. It can accelerate deal cycles and boost seller productivity. And it can ensure that you're delivering fast, accurate, and personalized service. Now, to tell you more about how AI can boost seller performance, I'd like to welcome to the stage Head of Product for Media Cloud, Chinmayi Bedadapour.
Thank you, Natasha. In the recent years, we have seen unprecedented changes. Customers are expecting more, agility is crucial, and the AI surge is impossible to ignore. Whether you're in sales or you support it, your role has changed. It's no longer enough to just have relationships or deep industry knowledge. You need to be efficient and have access to tools to help you stay ahead of the competition. You need to be data-driven, automate your processes to reduce errors. You need to deeply understand your customer and use AI to seize opportunities. In the next few minutes, we'll explore how seller performance can be transformed with a spotlight on advertising sales. It's hard to deny the impact of advertising on driving growth and profitability within companies today. Not just in technology, media, and entertainment, but also in retail, banking, transportation, and hospitality. It's hard to ignore. But instead of listening to me, let's actually hear from a customer who is excelling at it. This customer has not only revolutionized the way we listen to music and podcasts, but also is leading the way in which brands can connect with their consumers with more impactful and smarter advertising. Please help me welcome to the stage Global Head of Operations and Strategy at Spotify, Dan Walsh. Welcome, Dan, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get it started.
Great.
So Spotify is all about creating magical moments for your customers. Can you tell us about the driving force behind using Salesforce on that journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. when we started at Spotify using Salesforce, it was really driven by like our finance teams. It wasn't necessarily the investment that we needed for sales to really work with their customers and understand the business. So one of the first things that we did was make sure that there was a policy, if it's not in Salesforce, it doesn't exist. Every customer piece of data had to go into the system so we could accurately forecast and understand what was going on with our business. Prior to doing this, we were taking about a 5 to 7% haircut off our forecast each week. And what we did was we automated that sales gut call. So we could see everything that was inside the system. And as a result, we're at a 99% forecast accuracy rate on a weekly basis. So, it's really, really important that we had that data inside the system. And we're using it to make sure that we know when our customers are spending and what we might need to do to be able to help retain them.
Excellent. Well, also day-to-day operations, right?
Yep.
And you're in advertising sales ops, of course.
Yep.
So can you tell us a little bit about how Salesforce has helped you in your day-to-day operations?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't just ingest our pipeline data, but we're also ingesting all of our delivery and inventory so we can accurately manage what's happening inside our business all in one place in Salesforce. So one of the things that we use a lot, we call it our monetization dashboards. This is pulling in every piece of information so we can accurately see how much are things being sold for? What are our products that are being, we use the CPM for the media guys. So we can see CPMs, we can see the pockets of inventory that are going in and coming out, and what's available and what's not been sold. We use machine learning and some AI to help predict when days might be unsold for unsold opportunities and what price tags would we let them go out. We could actually see, have folks like Salesforce spent with us in the past on certain sponsorship days, and are those still available? And we give the tools to the sellers to be able to go back and offer those opportunities in real time. So it's a really powerful tool for us to be able to make sure that we're monetizing all the inventory that's available. Our mantra is no impression goes unsold. So we want to make sure that we have the tools to be able to do that.
Yield is really important.
Yield is very important to us, yes.
And you talked about data. Data is the backbone of any modern business, and of course, Spotify is no exception. So how has Salesforce helped you harness that power of data in elevating your user experiences?
Yeah, absolutely. So now that we have all that data put inside Salesforce, we're not just using it for the unsold opportunities, but we think about it a lot with retention and growth. And on the growth side, we're able to kind of look at all of our prior campaigns that we've done with customers and try to recommend actions and media mixes for those types of customers, whether that's in the same vertical, using the Salesforce example again in our tech vertical. We can see for everybody that's been spending, what's been driving the highest performance for them, as well as retention for Spotify. And we use data ingestion both from performance as well from our sales playbook. So we can let a seller know if they have a new book of business, hey, here's the steps in the playbook, whether that's executive reach out or a free trial perhaps. Those are the right steps that you should take, and here's what you should recommend that they should buy based on other performance. So that's been a really, really powerful tool. And that's helped us increase at least a 15% lift in retention and growth.
Speaking of such growth, you've also noticed a 40% increase,
Yes.
a whopping 40% increase in productivity. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how Salesforce has helped you achieve that?
Absolutely. It's been driven mostly through Slack. So every time we have a opportunity gets created in Salesforce, a Slack channel gets created for that opportunity. It's a lot. We call it the Slack attack. Make sure that everybody's getting the information. But we used to have Google Forms, and you'd have to reach out and add all these different people. Now everything's coming in at one time. So that's been really powerful. And you can just imagine the productivity that comes with that. One of the most recent things that we just did, our team was still spending a lot of time pulling together weekly reports for our agency partners. They want things in their own formats, in their own templates. And that takes time to take the data out and put it in there. So most recently, we've ingested those formats and the reporting via Slack. So every Monday morning, that team can get a report sent right to them via Slack, take a look at it, make sure everything's in there, and then send it off to their customers, and they don't have to waste any more of that time. So that's saving, just that one alone is about 2.5 hours per week on our account management team.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, all that productivity is actually going into elevating our experiences as consumers of Spotify. So thank you so much. And thank you for sharing how Salesforce has been able to help you on that journey.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Everybody give it up for Dan. We are all about bringing you the latest and greatest solutions. Over the past 25 years, we have been infusing the Salesforce platform with industry-specific capabilities such as Media Cloud. With Media Cloud, you can bring together your audience and advertiser data, automate media process flows, and even boost your revenue. And I am so excited to share with you today some innovations within the Media Cloud journey, as well as on our Salesforce platform, that'll help you take your seller performance to the next level. What if AI was with every seller? Well, last year at Dreamforce, we talked about AI with Einstein lead insights, and with that lead scoring, you were able to prioritize which leads are most likely to convert. Well, this year, let's take it a step further. What if each seller has access to their own set of superpowers? I'm sure today sellers have to spend hours, if not days, figuring out who to contact at a customer, how best to reach them, what to talk to them about when they do reach them. Well, with AI, you can have content that is self-generating. You can have assistance with your conversations. You can even prep instantaneously for your meetings, even prospect autonomously. You can have an autonomous SDR, BDR with you. And that is extremely powerful so that you can actually close more deals. And we have also just launched an AI library for advertising sales use cases. Big deal? Yes, because AI is extremely daunting, and it's hard to know where to start from, let alone get the most out of your AI investment. So we have curated some out-of-the-box and custom AI solutions to get you started on your advertising sales journey. And this also helps you just close your deals and get them through the pipeline a lot smoother. This would be, for example, with Einstein Conversation Insights. If you have a seller who's trying to pitch your latest ad product, takeover ad product to a brand or an agency, they're probably thinking about everything in their mind and also taking notes so as to not miss out on any of the specifics, like pricing, negotiations, whatnot. Well, with Einstein Conversation Insights, not only does it transcribe video and voice calls, it acts as your personal assistant and spots trends. It also identifies coaching opportunities, even takes down your action items and helps you follow through on that. Now that can help you close deals faster. This next capability, RFP management from Media Cloud, will completely change the way you respond to requests for proposals. We know that today that process can be pretty manual, and manual means tedious, but also error-prone. This capability automatically pulls out information from briefs and puts them in opportunities under the right account and gets things started so that it minimizes your manual data entry and therefore errors, so you don't have to potentially look at a make good at the end of the day. And this, what it helps in is actually helps you respond to these briefs faster, which has been the biggest challenge that we have understood from our customers in this part of the process. Well, to bring it all together, we are also super excited to announce our integrations with advertising technology platforms such as Booster, Operative, Wide Orbit, and Imagine Communications. We are integrating Media Cloud with these systems because before, it's a challenge to actually get information out and bring them together, harmonize, understand insights, and then actually take actions on those. With this seamless integration, you can actually get an end-to-end visibility of your revenue from pipeline and booked all the way to delivered, and invoiced. And that can also improve your budget forecasting. It's pretty exciting stuff, and you can hear all about it later this afternoon as well. But to bring all of these into perspective and help you visualize this, please help me welcome Senior Product Marketing Manager Gabby Hosokawa to the stage.
Thank you, Chinmay. Hi, everyone. I am super excited to be here. But before we dive into the demo, let's welcome our amazing demo drivers for today, Jeff Jones and Ed D'Angelo. So here's an opportunity our media company has. Now, for advertising sales, there are many, many stakeholders. And an important one is the advertising agency. So our rep goes into the meeting with the ad agency and records it using Einstein Conversation Insights. Now, if you're in sales, you know that the next steps are very important. You have to offer the right solution to close the deal. And Einstein Conversation Insights can help. For example, she can record the call using a summary and see important topics, and can view action items to make sure she's not leaving anything behind. She can also add and associate this call with an account in Salesforce. Perfect. So let's go to the account we're talking about. And in this case, we're working with NTO, a retail sports company. OK, now she has all the information needed and can create a follow-up email. So she goes ahead and sets everything up. But she can also use Einstein to draft it for her. So she uses the best prompt and the best offer. Now let's go ahead and create that. There you go, pretty simple, right? Yeah, but we don't stop here. In sales, we know that it's very important to have the right account view. So let's go ahead and create an account summary here. We also know that having the right sales forecasting is crucial. So Einstein will give you a timeline for the deal to close. And I hope you're excited about that, because I am. It allows you to prioritize efforts, manage risks proactively, and improve sales forecasting. OK, now our rep saved so much time with those manual tasks. And now then she can focus on business-critical tasks, like preparing for the request for proposal. Another big challenge in advertising sales is juggling so many different systems. All the back and forth takes a lot of time and makes it very easy for reps to make mistakes. And we don't want that, do we? No. So let's see how Media Cloud, our purpose-built solution, can streamline advertising sales. Now, after the meeting with the advertising agents, our reps can go ahead and create a cross-channel media plan. She can do it using a template. And you can see here she has few options, but she goes with digital, linear, and print, because those are the requirements for the campaign. After she has the plan set up, she can then configure targeting for the line items. And in this case, we want to target the following segments: people who purchased from the brand before, and people who love the outdoors and sports. Amazing. She has everything set up, so she can then submit for approval. Awesome. Now that she has everything, you probably are wondering, how did we get those segments? No worries. I'm going to tell you right now. Data Cloud. Yes, you've seen from the beginning that having the right data can improve revenue and efficiency. That's why we integrated Media Cloud with Data Cloud. You can now untrap your data and create the right segments on Data Cloud, and activate and configure them directly in Media Cloud. Guys, you can set your data free. Your data is going to work harder for you. So let's go ahead and see how we created one of the segments we just configured, the outdoor enthusiasts. And of course, we're using Einstein to make it even simpler. So we can just describe who we want to target. And Einstein will give us few attributes to choose from. Then we can verify and count. And looks like in this case, we had too many attributes. So let's adjust it a little bit. And then we can count again. Amazing. We can then rename the segment to outdoor enthusiasts. And we're done. Pretty simple too, right? But another amazing feature I want to highlight here is that we can also activate that in our ad server. In this case, we're using Google Ad Manager. So let's do that. Amazing. OK, once we're done, you can see that everybody's kept in the loop in Slack. So teams can view and sign documents if needed, and the team can view that the campaign is being pushed through the right OMS. All right, another important part of the sales process is to make sure that the customer can come back, right? For advertising, it's important for campaigns to perform well. So you can see here their advertising operations teams can view all pending and in-flight campaigns. They can view real-time insights into campaign performance. But our ad ops here is actually seeing a campaign that is underperforming. So he wants to quickly make adjustments. And he can use Einstein to analyze data for you and to make sure he's coming up with the right plan. And this is really cool because you don't have to analyze huge amounts of data. Einstein can do it for you. So let's go ahead and see what is the best performing inventory to see if we can add a placement for this campaign. But let's go further and see what is the best performing inventory for the targeted audience we just configured, the outdoor enthusiasts. Amazing. So he can add placements using data-driven insights and improve campaign performance. Tableau Einstein is a game changer for advertising sales. It allows you to understand metrics and spot trends. But now we've just seen how the sales landscape is evolving and the pivotal role that AI and data play in boosting seller performance. But it is very clear that innovations don't stop at individual sellers. It extends to broader strategies like how to engage with partners and how about new sales development. To dive deeper into those, I'd like to welcome back our amazing Lenore Lang.
Thank you, Gabby. Well, we've just heard about incredible innovations around boosting seller performance. And I know that many of you are thinking about how can you grow your revenue with things like partners and marketplaces. You know, at Salesforce, our partners are critical to our success, but sometimes managing them can be tricky. And that's why I'm excited to announce that we have, brand new this week, Partner Connect for high tech, making it easier to collaborate right inside your CRM. Now, many of you are thinking, well, that's great. What else do you have to offer for us? Well, 84% of sales leaders right now are thinking about how reliant they are on their partner network compared to last year. And they're also thinking about things like the marketplace. The AWS marketplace in particular has experienced explosive growth over the last several years. Deals are closing 50% faster, and they're 4 to 5x the size if they go through the marketplace. In fact, last quarter at Salesforce, 3 out of the top 10 deals came through the AWS marketplace. And in order to tell us more about that, it's my pleasure to bring up Vice President of the AWS Marketplace and Partner Services, Matt Yin-Shishin. Did I get it right?
You nailed it.
All right. Thank you, Matt, so much for being here. You know, I've had the pleasure of serving Amazon my entire tenure here at Salesforce, and we've got such a great partnership. And over the last several years, we've seen you really just boost seller productivity, reduce operational burden, and accelerate your co-sell motion with partners. Can you tell us, and in particular, sorry, with our Sales Cloud and Experience Cloud, can you tell us a little bit about like what started that transformation for you all?
Yeah, I mean, well, growth. You know, I've been with AWS for 12 years, and we've been lucky, like Salesforce, to have grown incredibly over the last decade. And with growth comes a bigger field sales organization all over the world. And you know, we hire smart people like you do, and those smart people have great bias for action, like we like to say, and they build a lot of tools, they have various data sources, and with growth comes complexity. And so we saw a need to reinvent the field sales experience because there were tools everywhere, there was data everywhere, and we needed to bring it together. So we wanted to create a unified place where our field could use a smaller number of high-value tools We wanted to bring all those data sources together so we could optimize sales. And also with a big sales organization and just a big company in general, we really needed to focus on facilitating collaboration and communication. We also saw an opportunity when we brought all this together to introduce AI. So we created something called AWS Central, powered by Salesforce, and that's, like you said, built on Sales Cloud. And then we brought in services, AI-powered services by Amazon's Bedrock and SageMaker and Q to do things like lead scoring and some of the things we saw on screen there, like generate emails or account plans, and to really improve the operational efficiency of our field while also facilitating communication and just making it easier to use for everyone. So it's been a huge success. We rolled out AWS Central, and it's really allowed us to operate much more efficiently as a global field organization.
Fantastic. Well, it's been fun to watch. You've talked about the AWS seller experience. I'm curious you have over 130,000 partners, and you've also started on that transformation. You've just mentioned it. You have AWS Central. It's a unified digital experience. Can you go a little bit deeper there and tell us more?
Yeah, so AWS Central is for our field organization, for sales organization, but you and I were on stage at our conference, reInvent, last year talking about the partner experience transformation because, like you said, we have over 130,000 partners, and within those partners, we actually have over 2.5 million users who use our services to do business with AWS. And so we had a similar need. Over the last decade, we built something called Partner Central on Salesforce Experience Cloud, and it needed sort of a facelift to deal with sort of the massive growth, massive scale that we're seeing with AWS. So again, we partnered with Salesforce using your professional services, your latest product innovations, and we reinvented the partner experience in Partner Central. And same thing, we wanted to incorporate automation so that partners could have automated recommended next steps, for example, what to do. And we really wanted to bring Marketplace and Partner Central together so that they could have a single pane of glass to understand their AWS business and operate efficiently. So we wanted to make our salespeople efficient with Sales Cloud, with AWS Central, but also our partners efficient and operating effectively at scale by using Salesforce Experience Cloud and everything you bring to bear.
Amazing. Well, we heard Dan just talk about Slack Attack, which maybe I'm going to use that again.
Love that.
Can you talk about how using integrations like Slack Connect with Sales Cloud is helping you accelerate your co-sell motion?
Yeah, well, I mentioned that Slack or collaboration is so important, and Slack is really a pillar of our collaboration. So we have something called Slack Connect, and a bit like opening Slack for every opportunity, for us, we had a lot of feedback from customers and from partners that they wanted easier collaboration and communication, especially when they were going through like a marketplace deal or just collaborating on their accounts. So we launched something called Slack Connect that creates channels where they can interact, and we've had over 4,800 connections using Slack Connect ever since it launched, and that's across about 1,300 different channels, maybe not as many of one for every single opportunity, but across over 800 partners, and this is a new feature that just launched. And so what we're finding is that this collaboration through Slack Connect is making a lot more efficient, and also the AI that we're using to make these partner introductions and recommendations in the first place to connect the right partner to the right customer has led to a 10% greater partner attach rate across our entire business as well. So the combination of automation to make those connections in the first place, and once those connections are made, the collaboration between the rep, the partner, and the actual end customer just makes for a more seamless and ultimately a more productive experience for our customers.
That's fantastic. Well, we talked about, most folks are trying to find ways to grow their business right now, whether it's, through partners or through a marketplace. For folks that are considering joining the marketplace, what would the top 3 considerations and benefits be that you would recommend them looking at?
Yeah, well, we were in a panel yesterday with Trasha from SiriusXM, and it was really validating to hear a customer talk about these benefits, and she highlighted a few things that I'll just repeat. And the first was really around governance. It's really great to hear a customer who is in charge of a procurement organization say that when they use the AWS Marketplace, they get better visibility and better governance. That ultimately is so important. And for all of you who are selling into the enterprise, you'll know that the procurement teams, the legal teams, there are a lot of people involved, and they all want to have good billing and spend management. They want to know who's buying what. What are they buying? How much are they paying? How much am I spending? So when you consolidate those purchases through the marketplace, it makes all of that governance a lot easier. The number one piece of feedback that I get from customers too, I was at our marketplace seller conference last week, is speed. They want to move faster. And I was joking with Trasha yesterday. I said, The chief procurement officer used to be the office of no, and now they're the office, well, she said the office of maybe, but I'll say the office of yes. A bit like the CISO in the cloud, about a decade ago decided that, hey, I can be more secure in the cloud than I can on premises. We're hearing that now. When you move through Marketplace, you can actually move faster, because contracts are hard. There are a lot of people involved. Private offers can take weeks and months in the old world, and when you do it through Marketplace, we automate key steps of the contract process, so it makes things faster. And if you're going to operate in this environment with Gen AI and move quickly and build new apps, you need to be able to get those new apps into the hands of developers and all the people who need them as quickly as possible. So speed is key. So governance, speed, and then selection. I mean, thank you. All of your products from Salesforce are in the Marketplace now, but we both know that that's not all customers need. They need adjacent technologies. I mean, you have your own app exchange, and we have over 20,000 listings in our AWS Marketplace. So a lot of these data analytics, AI, complementary adjacent technologies, or even consulting services or data sets that customers need to be successful along with their Salesforce products, having one place where you can go and procure everything in one spot, that selection, enables that kind of everything you need to build your applications. And I'll give you a fourth, real quick, is collaboration, is a place where partners can come together and you're actually bringing a whole set of new partners through the Salesforce partner ecosystem into the Marketplace, and those partners are collaborating to better serve our joint customers. So Marketplace is helping us move faster, do it carefully with governance, and really build better things together.
Awesome. Well, we're really excited about the potential of the Marketplace for Salesforce, and thank you so much for the partnership.
Thank you. It's been great.
Thank you. Okay. Well, let's bring this all together now. Having a data strategy is no longer a nice to have or a bonus. It's critical to your growth and unlocking AI's full potential. And that's why we're excited to have the Salesforce platform to bring all of that data together, giving you one seamless experience, allowing your teams to be more efficient. And as AI continues to advance with Agentforce, we are combining human expertise with AI-powered agents and allowing you to scale your operations at scale. This is the true power of showing data plus AI plus action. Now, if you're here in person, please make sure you see many of the live sessions that we have out on the campground from customers like Meta, Global Video, and NVIDIA. And if you're joining us on Salesforce Plus, there's plenty more Dreamforce content out there for you. We hope that you're all leaving with a better understanding of how Salesforce can help harness your AI strategy, leading you to growth. Thank you all for joining us.